Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 88. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with Smitty meeting Jacob at the motel, and he tells him what Ashley told him about Grayson working at the clinic, and they're trying to figure out what the move is. Um, oh no, they're trying to figure out how they're going to move the plasma at the clinic. And Derek, because they may have an inside man, they know it's not Derek because he would never do anything like that. They think it's Leslie, but she doesn't have anything to gain from this. Then they think it's Joey, but Jacob doesn't think it's Joey because if he were the impaler, then they wouldn't be alive because he knows that they are looking into the impaler. So Jacob gets a call from Ren, and he tells him that they're going to need all the security that they have because the VIPs are in town, and he needs to be at the warehouse tomorrow. Jacob asks if the big boss is going to be there, and he tells him that's none of his business, and he hangs up. So Smitty wants to go to the warehouse too, but Jacob is just like, nah, you can't go. So he's just like, you got to be safe, X, Y, and Z, be with your family. It's the cotillion, go be with them. So he leaves. Jacob calls Elon and tells him about the meeting. So we see Grayson. He's in the stairwell and he's thinking about what Ren did to him. And Leah walks up on him and tells him, don't forget what happened here because um, it was to keep him in line. She tells him that the plans have changed and he needs to go to the clinic and get that plasma because tomorrow they're gonna have to the first shipment is tomorrow. He tells her he can't do it. It's Derek is watching him, X, Y, and Z, and she tells him, well, it's a matter of life or unaliving, and it's your life basically. So get it together. So we see Nicole. She is on the phone with Martin and she's telling him about what happened with Samantha. And Martin says he'll take it from there. So Vanessa and Nicole are talking about, when they were Debs and their kids being Debs. And um, Vanessa, I mean, not Vanessa. Um, yeah, Vanessa says something about, about her being called grandma, and Nicole tells us, um, Tyrell and Samantha came to them when they were in grade school, and she loves being called a grandma. She makes mention about, the kids. Let me see. Oh no, she mentions Ted, and Vanessa wants to know if she's still daydreaming about him. She tells her about her latest daydream and she wonders who Nicole is going to bring as a date. Nicole is going to go by herself, and that's when they start talking about being called a grandma. And she mentions, Nicole mentions when Vanessa will become a grandma, and Vanessa gets in her feels because Deanna is still icing her out. But Vanessa doesn't want to talk about it. She wants to talk about the dreams that Nicole is having. Ted then walks up, overhears them, but he doesn't know that they're talking about him. Vanessa makes him uncomfortable and he walks away. Vanessa tells her to go for it, and Nicole says it's just tells I mean Vanessa tells her that she needs to go for it with Ted or whatever. So we see Nicole, she's in the hallway and she has another daydream, and she walks into Ted. Not walks into it, but Ted, is calling her and making sure she's okay. And, she apologizes, and he apologizes to her about before. She says it's okay. She gets flustered and then she leaves. So we see, and I'm sorry, I don't have a picture of this, but we see Eva and Ted. They're in his office, and she's going over his schedule she's going over his schedule, and then they start talking about cotillion. He wishes that he could have waltzed with um he could have waltzed with what's her name, what's her name? He could have waltzed with Eva at her cotillion, but she makes him, she tells him that, it's okay. You can always do it at my wedding. He wants to know if things are, Leslie done manifested a wedding. She says no, but her and Isaiah said they love you. And, she asked him about him and Shanice, and he hopes things are going to get better. Eva leaves because she has to meet Samantha to go over hairstyles for Cotillion. Monica shows up in Ted's office. He wants to talk to her about Shanice. She no, he wants her to talk to Shanice for him. He tells her what happened with Leslie, and how Shanice thinks he'll go back to her, and she'll just like, okay, fine, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to her. Ted calls Shanice and tells her to meet him in his office. He comes to sorry. He comes to she comes to the office, and Ted's not there, but her aunt is there, and her aunt gives her terrible advice and tells her to go back to him. And you don't want to lose a good thing. And it's just like, girl, it's not a good thing, but I digress. So, and she tells her she doesn't want to miss out on being loved by the one that she really wants, or something like that, and tells her to stick with him. And I'm just like, girl, okay. So we see Ashley and Naomi. They're at the hospital. Shanice asks, "Is it bring your best friend to work day?" But she's just kidding with them. Naomi is trying to stay beside Ashley so she doesn't be alone with Leah. Naomi is watching her from where she's at, sitting on them little couches, and them little benches that's in front of the hallway, not the hallway, but in the right in front of the nurse's station. She's sitting there doing work, but watching Ashley as well, or whatever. Shanice comes back because she had to go give some paperwork to another doctor. She comes back. She checks on Ashley and see if she's okay with her breakup, and that's when she gets the call from Ted. Ashley then runs into Grayson as Naomi is watching them. She's trying to get Grayson to talk to her, but he's not trying to tell her anything, and he's telling her, "Don't worry about it," but she can't. Naomi clears her throat and is just like, "Girl." So he leaves. We see Elon. He's in the hospital, and Naomi is scared because she thinks that he's looking for her, and he was just like, "Oh no, I had something to do real quick." So she asks if everything's okay. He tells her, "I just got off the phone with Jacob and things are all good." So Naomi then gets a call from Jacob, so she goes to the stairwell, and he tells her that he's going to be home soon. She wants to know an exact date. He's like, "It's going to be soon." And she can't wait to see Leah in cuffs. So we see Leah. She approaches Ashley, and is checking on her to make sure she's okay with the breakup. Not Leah, but Ashley tells her it was inappropriate for her to spill her tea to Leah, like she was one of her girlfriends, and she won't, and it won't happen again. Leah low-key threatens her in this moment, and Vanessa shows up because she's meeting with Leah to discuss the partnership between the clinic and Garland. So we see Tyrell. He comes downstairs and he is complaining about being grounded again and not being able to spend time with Jessica when she's about to leave soon. Martin tells him that Jessica should, her first time shouldn't be quick with his parents downstairs. It should be special. Tyrell tells him that it's not her first time, but mine. And Martin tells him it still doesn't matter. It should still be special, no matter whose first time it is. um Samantha comes home. She's all sad or whatever because of what happened, but she went shopping. She tells him she wants a quick cotillion. As she's saying this, Eva walks in, and Eva's just like, "No, you ain't gonna do that." She gives her pep talk one she says from one girl on the other side of the tracks to another girl from the other side of the track. She gives her a pep talk and talks her into staying in the cotillion. So Samantha leaves to go do something. Martin thanks Eva for helping Samantha. He invites her to cotillion, but she already has plans or whatever. He doesn't want her to miss out on any other family moments, and she's just like, "It's cool, whatever." They hug. She leaves. Smitty comes home, and Smitty comes home with food. Martin wants to know what's going on, why he's like, so stressed, but he's just, he plays it off. Kids come downstairs, and the kids come downstairs, and Samantha tells Martin that she almost quit the cotillion, and the reason why, and they hype her up and tell her, don't let anybody ever diminish how you feel about who you are, da 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 da, all that other stuff. They eat dinner. They're sitting on the couch. They're chilling. Tyrell comes downstairs and he brings her some diamond earrings, and he tells a story about how they used to. When they were in the foster care system, they used to always dream about leaving the system and all the things that they would do once they leave the system, his shoe collection, all this other stuff. And he says that Samantha always dreamed of wearing diamond earrings um, because she was always gonna shine. And she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. And he was just like, he tells her that she'll always be a star to him, and they hug. And I was just like, oh, that was so sweet. That was a really, really sweet moment because they've been bickering, and the fact that he did that, and it was just like, I loved it. So they hug. Martin and Smitty are proud of them, and Smitty is looking forward to spending as much time with them before things change even more. So we see, and I don't have a picture of this also, so I do apologize. But we see Leah. She meets with Malone at the police station, and he's showing her the security cam, the day of the hack, and then the day of Grayson's attack or whatever, and how it went black. And he wants to know if she remembers what happened that day, if there was any scheduled maintenance and all this other stuff. And she's starting to get, like, flustered or whatever. And it's just like, oh snap, like something about to happen or whatever. So she says, she'll look into it or whatever. And she leaves. She says she'll look into it. She leaves. Elon comes back to the station. He's telling Marcel the plans for the meeting tomorrow. And Marcel gives Jacob his props. Marcel gives Jacob his props. And then they talk about things being in place for tomorrow night. And Marcel is pissed that Leah's trying to play him, and he knew Leah was up to something. He says that he could tell that that he got her on the ropes when he showed her the security footage, and he knows that she's about to do something stupid and she's gonna lead them right, and that's when they're gonna catch him. That's when they're gonna catch her in the act. I'm sorry. So we see Grayson. At the he's at the hospital, and he is trying to figure out the code to the plasma. Eva walks up on him, and then they introduce themselves, and he's giving Leslie props for opening up this clinic, whatever. He tells Eva what he was looking for. She says, oh, okay, I can help you with that. She puts in the code as he watches to get into that area where the plasma is. So that was the episode. That was the episode. Not a lot happened on this episode. Sorry about that. So I am 5 episodes behind now. This week is going to be a busy week for me, so I'm going to try to get these out to you as soon as possible. I do apologize for the delay. I'm not trying to get any further behind, but this is Memorial Day weekend. It is a 4-day week, so hopefully I can try to get out 2 videos a week. But again, it is a busy week with the graduation and everything. But thank you guys for sticking with me and catching up with me, and for your support. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.